At the end of the day, those researchers and funds have an effect on the pricing. So these kind of efforts in the research have an effect on the pricing. So Techniseal products are usually not the cheapest ones on the shelves in the stores. How do you manage to be able to sell them to the consumer?
Well, in fact,
to convince them that your product is not the highest price, is the better.
Well, there's two things. It's a philosophy. You know, when you have a philosophy to always be the best in the category and really deliver quality, and you have to deliver value to the consumer. Now, you need to find a consumer that appreciates value, but the performance has to be there, and that's why we put so much effort and money in R&D, is to make sure we always have the best product. And best for us is the wear, obviously, the long lasting of the product, but the ease of installation, which sometimes consumer will realize using our product is not only because it's good and it will last long, it's a lot easier than most people to use or most other product to use, because we dedicated a lot of effort in ensuring that we have the best installation procedure, and the product is the ease of installation is always in the back of our mind. We work with a professional network of people, sometimes a year, 2 years, or 3 years before we'll introduce a product to the consumer. And we'll have that 2-3 years experience with our pros, and they'll come up with, and obviously time for them is important, but they'll come up with suggestions on how to improve the product to make it easier, because sometimes they will hire new help. And when they hire new help or they try to grow, they've got new guys that never installed wood product or never installed concrete paver products. To be able to have an ease of installation for them becomes very critical. And if any company that doesn't have that in mind, that the ease of installation in the back of their product, the product won't last, because the secret to developing a viable business on the retail market is always to have the consumer in mind. He's going to use your product sometime once every 5 years. He won't remember how it went the first time. The product needs to create success stories. And success stories always start with ease of installation, proper instructions to make sure they have an unbelievable set of instruction to create that success story. And for that, we spent thousands of hours of film that we put on YouTube and everywhere that you can just click on and use any of our product, get a promo on it, get on how to use it, and it's a straightforward approach on YouTube. You go Techniseal Effluent Cleaner, you'll have a bunch of product and a bunch of videos just showing you how to do it. Where to start? You start from the top of the hill or the bottom of your driveway. All those little tricks, and most of the time done by pros, people that do it, and they're so proud to help us film those things. So sometimes we have more time during the winter time. We'll fly our marketing crew to California or Florida, and we'll gather a bunch of pros together, and they always have new tricks. We'll put them together in a brainstorming session, and wow, this new way of doing this or doing that, just so we'll put it on film and then show the consumer how to do it. So the success for me has always been with the consumer first. You show them how to create a success story out of their project, will always win.
This marketing position forced you to put a lot of efforts in terms of dollars for direct marketing among the consumers. We saw your Techniseal logo and ads during the NHL games, and you are everywhere. So this is a lot of money. You believe that you don't have any other choices?
Well, when you want to go to the retail market, there's two things. One, you want the consumer to see and recognize the brand name. You want to see the retailer enticed by how many people see us. I mean, for a retailer, if the consumer comes into the store and requests a product, asks for the product, for him it's a trigger to make sure the product's on his shelf. Most serious organization will recognize us for a paver line. We have upcoming lines like the wood line, the roofing product. We have unbelievable consumer product. Obviously, we're known and still today 75% of our revenue runs around what created Techniseal, which is the paver industry, with paver installation products, paver maintenance and protection products. But we are moving inside.
So Dorais, I suppose that the future of Techniseal is linked to the paved streets. There's not so many in America, but the markets are huge in Europe, in Asia. Are you looking at those markets? Are you already there?
Well, we are already in Europe, and for say, you're right. The biggest paver producer around the world is Germany. So we have a sales office in Germany, obviously. We've been developing Europe, but it goes in cycle. I mean, every country develops its paver industry, concrete paver industry, according to its culture, according to the tendency. Now, we have a Canadian culture that is truly, summer is short. We like to have our surroundings really look nice early in the spring. So it's an important, for most people, to have a nice environment around the home, and it created a big need for us. In the States, concrete pavers was introduced probably 10, 15 years after the Amel brothers, or Ed Bryant, Unilock in Ontario, and the Amel brothers with Malco, today Permacon. That life cycle of the product, which today in the US, you can see the need growing for maintenance of concrete pavers. But at the initial start, people don't really feel the need because they're told from most manufacturers that a concrete paver does not need any maintenance. But today most will agree that if they clean it, seal it initially, the concrete paver remains nicer and lives on and ages well in the years.
So far, after about 30 years, Techniseal is associated with exterior surfaces. But there's some rumors that say that you are interested by the interior sides of the surfaces. Is that true? Can you say a word about that?
Well, it is
between
somewhat a secret rumor, but I know you've been very efficient in digging as being a good reporter. We are looking at going inside. We, at the board of directors, made a few changes lately. Namely, we just appointed Robert Atham as our new president of the board, which was the ex-president at UOP. Great guy, and we are having a will to go inside. We're looking at many other products that we had on our development board, and we're looking at making a few acquisitions in the year to come. And that will bring us, obviously, inside with the same philosophy. We have been looking at wood products inside for 5, 6, 7 years. We haven't released it simply because we don't come in the third, fourth player. We will not be in a line of product where we cannot have the best product.
You have the reputation of being an intense person, a passionate. When you're not working, if it happens, what are you doing? I don't see you watching TV for all weekend long. So are you an active person? You have a...
I don't like watching TV. In fact, I'm a fairly hands-on guy, but lately I've taken up photography. A few years before that, we had a family hobby. It was racing karts, and we raised our family racing karts all over Canada, raced in the United States, and it was quite a family passion. Prior to that, I used to fly airplanes, loved it, but it was loner sport, and as our kids grew up, I stopped flying, and just lately, out of a few friends that dragged me into the hobby when I was 15 years old, I started flying remote control airplane. Building one, 120cc, 14 feet wingspan. It's a nice passion, you know. It's not as dangerous as flying a real one, but it's lots of fun.
So does that mean that Techniseal product could be delivered by drones one day? It was not.
I don't think it's that easy to deliver a can of sealer across Canada, but in the United States. But we like to think we're at the forefront of a lot of technology.
Monsieur Dorais, merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. And it was a great honor to have you at the 10 Minutes between CEOs today.
Thank you.